Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dan-A-Plooza. My guest at this time is pro wrestler, the Savage Queen, Megan Difrancisco. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you here. So let's go ahead and get into some questions. What made you decide to become a pro wrestler?
Honestly, I just watched it when I was younger, and it's just been always something that I found interesting, and I wanted to be different than everybody else, so I decided to go with pro wrestling.
Were there any challenges when you first were starting to become a pro wrestler?
Yes, finding a good trainer was very hard for me. Once I found one, though, I stuck with it, and just it's been uphill from there. And actually making a name for yourself in this business is really hard too, but you just have to
Was it
know the
hard
right people.
Was it hard when the pandemic first started?
Yeah, I was when it first started, I was still wrestling down in Dayton for a little bit, and then once like the governor was like, all right, no more, shut everything down, it was really hard. It took a lot to get used to not having a show every weekend or every other weekend.
No.
Yeah, I was still looking forward to wrestling, and then it's like, nope, COVID.
We'll do it on stream.
Right. No fans like
Real
WWE did.
So with wrestling, do you have some dream opponents in mind?
I would actually love to go against Savannah Evans again. She was like one of my all-time favorites, and I miss wrestling with her. Lady Frost is another one. Charlie Cruel, Mickey Knuckles, LaFusto. There's quite a few on my list that I would like to step in the ring with.
Yeah, those are all wonderful choices. Hopefully I could get some of them to be guests on the show, but I would definitely like to see you versus Lady Frost. Personally, that would be a good choice.
Yeah. I saw you having her on the show sometime soon, aren't you?
I'm going to try. I know sometimes when people are on television, like Impact, like contracts, so I try not to, have hopes too high, so not too pushy. So, but we'll try and have like a women's wrestling panel. We're actually having one in February, so hopefully you'll tune into that. All Natural Ashley. I don't know if you know her, Ashley America.
Yep, I've heard of her.
The Woad, she'll be on there, and then Ronnie Nicole. So
nice.
So we'll have one, and then we're looking to have one with the Belladonna division. So
nice.
Anything to keep women's wrestling going. But if you know of anybody who would like to, and if you would like to have a panel, or if you know of other wrestlers, we can arrange that as well. So okay. What do you like most about this time of year?
Christmas, actually. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. I love spending it with my family and opening gifts on Christmas Day just to see my little boy's face of getting a gift that he's wanted. It's just heartwarming, and I just love it. I do not like the snow, though. If we could do Christmas without snow, would be perfect. But
which is interesting because you don't like the snow. And last night, our guest Casey Dillon has never seen snow, and she's wanting the White Christmas. So if it can redirect to go to Casey Dillon,
right? Tell her to come to Ohio
instead of the Savage Queen. It'll be a good Christmas for everyone.
Yes.
That's all right. So we're just gonna leave it up to the weather, but hopefully that's what can happen.
Weather god.
Yes. Indeed. So we have a ticker running at the bottom, and you could follow the Savage Queen on Facebook and Instagram, but she also has some wonderful merch at brainbustertees.com and prowrestlingtees.com/the Savage Queen. What kind of merchandise can wrestling fans and folks pick up?
Well, on Brainbusters, I've got fanny packs, I've got hats, stickers, zip hoodies, pullover hoodies, t-shirts, pro wrestling tees. I just have two t-shirts on there. I'm actually currently wearing one. This is my new design. You can get that on both pro wrestling tees and Brainbusters.
All right. Well, hopefully everyone will pick that up. It is the holiday season, so that could
They
be
make
the holiday
perfect
gift.
gifts. Yes, perfect gifts.
If you really love somebody, you will get
Get them
the
a hoodie
t-shirt.
or a t-shirt or anything.
It shows you really know your loved one.
Yes.
Um, so, if the Savage Queen could star in any kind of film role, what would it be?
Oh. Um, something scary. I love scary movies. So anything scary that has to either with Michael Myers, Jason, anything like that. Chucky. Oh my God. If I could star in a Chucky movie, that would be fantastic. That would make my whole life.
I
Like
think
Chucky's
we,
my all-time favorite.
I think we need the sci-fi series Chucky is now on USA, so I think we need the showdown of the Savage Queen versus Chucky,
Yes.
weapons in tow.
Yes. Oh, I would love it. It would make my life.
He has all those deaths, with the fan, the fire,
Yep.
um, the gunshot, the stab, and then whatever you do, that'll be the new thing.
Yes.
That'll be the new trend.
Yes. It would be awesome.
Have you been watching the series on
No,
Sci-Fi?
unfortunately, I don't have cable.
Aw.
So I would just have to. I catch glimpses of it here and there, what I can see online, but I haven't been able to watch the actual series.
YouTube, you can YouTube it. There's
I'll have to check it out.
yeah. It's definitely really good, and I love that they brought Kyle and Andy into the fold. So
Nice. I'll definitely have to check it out.
um so I've seen sometimes you do cosplay for some of your wrestling matches. Do you have a favorite?
I just recently started doing that about, I would say right before the pandemic hit. Um, but as of right now, my Chucky one's my favorite. I still wear the overalls every once in a while. Um, I liked my Sam one. I did Sam from Trick or Treat this past Halloween. I liked it, but the only thing I had issues with is my hood kept falling down over my eyes, and I couldn't see. At one point, when I was coming out to do my entrance, I almost walked into the ring post because I didn't. It fell over my eyes, and I couldn't see where I was going. So, but I want to eventually do all of like the top scares, like Michael and Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, and then kind of start putting my own little twist into it, so I can start wearing them throughout the year, not just on Halloween.
Just no leprechaun, no Warwick
No,
Davis, no
no,
tricycle running to the
no, and no Pennywise
no
either.
Pennywise.
No, I am petrified of clowns, so I will be staying away from Pennywise.
I just see that if anybody does that and like brings a balloon, you'll just go pop.
Yes. 1 year actually, I had to do a tag match, and my tag team partner, they did like a random draw tag team partners, and my tag team partner was a guy dressed up like a clown, and he went to, or I went to go tag him in, and I stood in the middle of the ring and like teared up because I couldn't bring myself to go over there to tag him because that's how much I was scared to go towards him.
You're on your own.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, I'll do this by myself. I don't need you. Goodbye.
Roll out.
Yes, yes.
Just leave them. That's what you do when you're stuck with a clown partner. You roll out and leave.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, what holiday character do you think you closely relate to this time of year?
This time, Buddy the Elf, minus the snow part.
Smiley's my favorite.
Yes, I just always like my wrestling persona is like the Savage Queen. I'm mean and I'm evil, but in real life, I'm probably one of the nicest, sweetest people you will ever meet. Like I try my best to put a smile on everybody's face because you never know what somebody's going through. You don't know what kind of day they had, and if you could just smile and make somebody happy, then you could have made their whole day and you not even know it. So I just try to be friendly.
The Savage Queen is misunderstood.
Sometimes, yes, just a little.
The time I remember is when I saw you wrestle in West Virginia a couple of years ago, and I remember that you had a kendo stick,
Yes.
and you just kept hitting your opponent like over the back,
That I actually have a funny story about that. I was at a wrestling show in Chillicothe, and or not Chillicothe, Newark, and it was me and my tag team partner AJ Fire. We were in a hardcore tag team match for their tag team titles, and I ended up shattering 2 kendo sticks over my opponent. Like all I had left was the part you held onto at the end because I just went crazy on them with their kendo stick, and everybody loved it, and everybody cheered, and we ended up winning the match that night and became tag team goals, and then our tag team champions. And then when we came to the back, one of the other workers had let me borrow his kendo stick, and he's like, after what I saw out there, you can just keep it. So I earned my first kendo stick.
It's approved. You know who would
Yes,
also approve? The Sandman.
yes, yes, he would.
The only thing that I have is one time is I threw a chair in the ring and I broke the glass table during a
Oh,
match.
nice.
Because people were like, do it. And like I threw it and it went. And then, I didn't want to throw it and then it ends up on the ground and I look like a wuss, So like I
Yeah,
overthrew it and
yeah.
like you just see it and then you hear and I go.
Oops,
And
I didn't
everyone
do
looked at
that.
me and they're like,
Like,
he's hardcore. And I'm like, yes.
yes, I'm
But
hardcore.
then they're mad at me, so I'm gonna take leave.
Yeah, step out for a minute.
I'm gonna wait till they get done. No, they were cool about it, but that was the last time I realized I will never throw anything again. No matter how much I'm encouraged.
You win some, you learn some.
Exactly. I just never forget because it just broke right in half.
Oh,
Everybody just kind of looked at me and I was like,
oopsie. Didn't mean to do that.
um, is there a certain championship you have in mind?
Honestly, no. Um, well, kind of. I work for this company in Marion, Ohio called
Mhm.
Savage Anarchy Wrestling, and I want to be the first female to hold their heavyweight title.
There you
I
go.
was their first female to hold their Anarchy champion, and I've held that twice. Uh, I haven't held any other gold in that company, so I really want to shoot for their heavyweight just to prove that I deserve to be there just as much as the men do.
Well, I definitely see you achieving that, and I want you to achieve that. So I hope that it's a really long and, well told story match, and, that it, people really enjoy it. And, or you could always just, hit him with a stick in the back of the head and roll.
Roll up, cheap shot.
Wham! They'll just be the
Yes.
title defenses.
GP, it works.
You'll be like, what? I got paid. It's not hour.
Right. I did my job.
Now your opponent's going to be like this because he's
Right.
he
Like,
watched
fuck man.
it. He's going to have a hard hat on.
I know your tricks, Megan.
It's that Dan. He started it. So what is your favorite film of the Chucky series?
The Bride of Chucky. Me and as ironic as it is, my son's 6. I've been having him watch the Chucky series since he was probably about 3 or 4, and that is his all-time favorite movie. Whenever he wants to watch a scary movie, he's always like, "Mommy." He calls it the Mommy Chucky because he watched the Seed of Chucky too. So he's like,
Oh yeah.
let's watch the Mommy Chucky movie. So we'll sit down every Halloween and watch The Bride of Chucky and have a good, nice, comfy, warm night.
Which is awesome because, like most parents would be like, oh, well, let's watch, you know, I forget like some of even the holiday Transylvania or something like
Yeah,
hotel or or
Monster House or something,
Monster House or
Goosebumps or
the
something.
very Disney zombies, and he'll be like,
Yeah.
and
Nope, not mine.
you have a favorite line from that movie?
No, it's all of it. It's just at the top of my head, I can't really think of one, but
I love
unfortunately.
when they're talking about the dishes in the RV and there's all the
Oh
dishes.
yes,
He's
and
like, Zips, they're not gonna clean themselves, you know.
and he said, or fuck what Martha Stewart said, and throws the
Yeah.
dish at him.
She's like, ah.
Yes.
Then she gets kicked in the oven and then she's extra
Yep.
crispy.
Actually, one of my favorite TV shows, Grey's Anatomy, the girl that played the daughter in The Bride of Chucky, like the main female,
Mhm.
she's in Grey's Anatomy
Oh
too.
wow.
Yeah, she plays Lizzie.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. I also love that because John Ritter is in there, and he's like the chief of police.
Yes. Yes. And then he
So
dies. That's.
yeah, I'm thinking like, what happened to Jack, Tripper on Three's Company?
He's at the back of the minivan, sitting under Chucky's butt.
And so to me that was always just an interesting role because I was like, I wonder what made him decide to do this.
Something new.
Oh yeah, and especially with all the nails, when he's
Yes.
like
Oh yeah.
dead.
Just sitting there like.
I was waiting for him with the little hammer to be like, oh wait, I did it wrong. But yeah, it's interesting. Have you always liked Chucky? Chucky used to scare me when I was little.
I honestly didn't like. I had a little kind of like a sheltered life when I was growing up, so I wasn't really allowed to watch scary movies. I didn't start like hardcore watching scary movies until after I had moved out. So about 10 years ago, I started watching it, and I started out watching Scream and Ghostface and stuff like that. Like Scream was my original first favorite, and then I moved on to like Halloween and Michael Myers, and then Chucky, and then slowly worked my way up to like Freddy and Jason, and which now looking back, I was like, they don't scare me as much as they probably would have if I was younger and watched them. Because like I watched the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, I waited 20 years to watch this. Like it's not really that scary. I was like, it's funny and it's good, and I'll still watch them, but it's not really that scary. And he's like,
I
yeah.
I feel like because you mentioned Scream, because Scream's one of my favorites. So I feel like for one of your matches, like if you're with your opponent or anything, or if you're stabbing or something, like your opponent will be like, "She got me too deep. I'm feeling a little woozy right
Woozy,
here."
man. Did you really call the cops? My mom and dad's gonna be so mad at me.
He'll still have like the phone, with the phone line in the match.
Yes.
That's for the hardcore.
Yes. My next hardcore match, I'm so doing that.
I'd be like, where did you find this?
I got my ways.
But yeah, it was awesome. I've met Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich and Nev Campbell and Jamie Kennedy.
Yes.
So
Jealous.
it's all really cool. I think Skeet was mad because Randy signed my mask in the mouth part, and that's where Skeet wanted to sign.
Oh, I would have went and found another mask and be like, here you go. You can sign this one.
I'm like, well, you should just stab him again.
Sign like, over it.
Yeah, he's like, let's get
I'm gonna do that.
In the flashback, I'm gonna. All right. So before we exit, anything else you'd like to say, promote, any future show dates?
I have a show next weekend, December 11th, in Marion, Ohio, at Savage Anarchy Wrestling. It's 434 West Church Street in Marion, Ohio. I get to go one-on-one against Twisted once again and kick his ass all over the Savage ring. And then in 2022, I will be making my debut in the Philadelphia area as well at American
Awesome.
Championship Wrestling. So once I know more about that, I'll be promoting it on my page. So just make sure that you guys keep an eye out, because I am trying my best to get out there more and to reach my fan base that's all over the United States. And I'm going to continue to work hard, and just make sure you keep the eye out for future dates.
All right, we'll keep promoting them in the Dan-A-Plooza Facebook page. Everybody stay tuned. Our next guest is brutal business model Crazy Kitty. She'll be up at 8. Thank you, everybody.